When you think of the two most iconic anime, what comes to mind? Animated classics that even non-anime fans could point out if given the chance. Well, to me, that's an easy question. It's Dragon Ball and Naruto. Everyone knows about Goku and friends. Hell, there was even a float for him at the last few Macy's Thanksgiving parades. The impact that Dragon Ball has had on all fiction cannot be understated, but the same could be said for Naruto, if even to a lesser degree. Not only has the show given us a plethora of memes and interesting fan art, but it has also left a massive footprint on how animated stories are told. And I don't think it needs to be said that the amount of childhoods Naruto and its sequel series have changed for the better is immense. I can't even tell you how many times my grandmother has seen something from anime on Facebook and asked me if it's from that one show with the two brothers who fight each other, meaning Sasuke and Itachi. After years, my grandmother remembers a single scene from Naruto and loved it so much, she associates everything anime to it. Let that sink in for a second. Overused jokes aside, I think you understand what I'm getting at here. Naruto and Dragon Ball are huge, and rightfully so, and it's no secret that the former took a decent amount from the latter. Why wouldn't you? After all, Mamoshi Kishimoto was a huge fan of the manga, so why don't we combine the two, taking some of the most iconic powers from Naruto and adding them to the Dragon Ball story. But this intro has been long enough. Let's get into the story of this What If. It was a cold April night, the 16th to be precise, and a bouncing baby boy would be being welcomed into the world, while his parents were being forbidden from it. While cries were heard from around the world, a giant golden fox with 9 tails, seemingly made of pure hate and power, was rampaging around, slaughtering all that came in his way. A group of Saiyans banded together in an attempt to stop it, but these were not heroes, and this was not the same 9-tailed fox that you might be familiar with. This beast was from a far-off galaxy, its power incredible and its fury burning like the sun. It had wandered to this planet in an attempt to find peace, but once again those who lived on it tried to control it and use it for their own means. But he wouldn't have it. Not again. He wouldn't be controlled and forced to be a monster by monsters. He screamed, shooting a giant ball of ultra-dense energy in the direction of his opponents. The blast cut through men as well as the mountains behind them. Hundreds killed in just a moment. But it wasn't just fighters that were killed. Instead, everyone caught in the area of the blast, and one particular person was killed in the attack. Gine. With a roar that rivaled even that of the foxes, a man with glowing golden hair stood with an aura that surpassed the light of a star. A look of pure malice was sent to the beast as its opposition fired a ball of burning blue ki, determined to get revenge. This was of course Bardock, the one and only legendary Super Saiyan of legend. Jokes aside, Bardock has ascended beyond the barriers of mortal powers, and his blue bullet surges towards the monster. It explodes with a violent burst of lightning and smoke. After all the dust clears, the 9-tailed fox is still standing there, even angrier than before. Although the Super Saiyan is supposed to be a being of pure rage, for a moment all he felt was fear. But that moment didn't last long, as he flickered in front of the fox, landing a kick onto the belly of the beast, sending it flying. A Super Saiyan needs to have a base power level of 100,000, and Bardock's was only a tenth of that, so his body was accelerating to that level as a way to compensate for its prior weakness. The 9-tails was strong, but in its current state, blinded by rage, it couldn't compete with a power level of 5 million, and would begin to falter. Bardock would land blow after blow, and it wouldn't take long before the 9-tails was completely overwhelmed. When the Saiyan had let out all of his rage, he aimed to finish it before the beast could kill anyone else. He grabbed the fox by one of its tails and swung it around before launching it into space. As it rocketed through the void, it hoped for this to be the time it would finally find a peaceful place to stay. But then it got warm. Really, really warm. He was heading for planet Vegeta's sun. As the warmth of the blazing ball of heat grew more, the tails of the fox would begin to singe, burning to a crisp. Pretty soon, he was fully submerged in the light of the star, and then, in seemingly just a moment, he was gone. Despite expecting death to feel cold like he had heard, it was still hot, but a calming heat rather than the painful one from a moment ago. Then he would hear the voice of a woman. She'd be talking to him, introducing herself as Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun. The fox would ask if now he can finally find peace here, with the gods, but she said no. Despite his intentions, he was still a being of pure maliciousness that had just killed hundreds that very day. He'd look sad. Knowing what this probably means, he would ask if now he'd be going to the bad place. With a look of sadness, Amaterasu would say yes, he would be going to hell. But he had another option. Because of his form, a being made up of only energy and a soul without a true body, he could share a vessel with another. The fox seemed puzzled. He could share a body? She would elaborate. If he so wished, he could inhabit the body of an infant and watch over it like a guardian angel, lend it his power when needed, and keep him safe. In return, if the babe turns into a pure-hearted and good being, then when the two die, he may have his peaceful afterlife, and his sins pardoned. Having no better choice really, the Ninetales would agree, being given his own name to better communicate with people, as well as given a voice that mortals could understand. He would now be known as Kurama, but when he is sealed inside the person he would be guarding, he almost regrets his decision. He would be placed into Goku, the son of the man who killed him in the first place. This was humiliating. He remembers why he's doing this though, and swallows the bitter pill. Goku would still be sent off-world and to Earth, except here it's more akin to the Z story of events, seeing as the super telling can't really happen for obvious reasons. Sadly, there wouldn't be anyone to stand up to Frieza when he prepares to destroy the Saiyan planet, as well as, well, commit genocide, as Bardock would have died from the strain of Super Saiyan without the necessary power to actually wield the form. Once landing on Earth, Goku would still be taken in by Grandpa Gohan, as well as actually being named Goku. The old man would have noticed a strange marking on Goku's belly, and would decide to make gi with the same symbol for him when he's old enough to wear it. Not super relevant, but still something worth mentioning. When Goku first wanders out during the night and lays eyes on the moon, he would still transform, except this time, he has control. Well, he doesn't have control as much as the Great Ape is under control, because although Goku wasn't fully there, Kurama was able to fill in the blanks. He would even go as far as to talk with Grandpa Gohan, and the Turtle Hermit considers himself lucky, getting to speak with a mythical being such as the Ninetales. This is strange for Kurama. It was the first time someone showed him respect and kindness rather than fear and violence. Maybe he could get used to this. Once a month, he takes the reins. Yeah, he likes that. I mean, the kid does owe him that at least. Although this does lead to Gohan teaching his adoptive grandson to speak with Kurama and get to know him. It didn't go great the first few times, as the fox was still somewhat hostile when seeing someone who looked like Bardock, but eventually he came around. After a few years passed, with Gohan, Goku, and Kurama getting to better know each other and bond, someone would arrive at their doorstep. It was a teenage girl, with blue hair driving some sort of floating car, and she was looking for the Dragon Balls. Of course, Gohan has the fourth of these wish orbs, but he isn't too bothered when she asks to take it. He really didn't have a need for it, all things considered. The ball was really just a cool little bauble he had sitting around, collecting dust. So he does allow her to take it. But Gohan does request that if she gets all of them, to come back here to make her wish, as she would have explained her want for the balls and how they have mystical properties. The girl, now known as Bulma, would agree and prepare to set off. But then Goku asks if he can come along. He's always kind of wanted to see the world, and she could use the protection in case anyone tries and takes the wish orbs from her. She isn't too sure at first, and seeing as he was a bit strange having a tail and all. But this isn't the same Goku. Here, he was fully raised by Grandpa Gohan, and mentored by Kurama. Bulma would have thought he was kind of cute, and the kid did make a good point about bandits and the like, so sure, he can come along. With the two embarking on a new adventure, Kurama would watch over and guide him along the way. Because of the Ninetales' influence, Goku would be able to do basic ki blasts, as well as having a power level of 90 rather than just 10. This is about as strong as he was after his training with Muten Roshi, so it's a pretty solid boost. When Goku first encounters Yamcha, the fight would be absolutely humiliating for the latter of the two. Of course, the young Saiyan would pummel Yamcha and leave the bandit beaten on the desert sand, but he wouldn't hurt him too bad. He was taught to be honorable after all. This made Bulma a bit smitten for him. Goku could beat up bad guys and just saved her from a thief. Maybe she would use that wish for strawberries after all. When the duo arrives at Master Roshi's place, they got the ball without Bulma needing to do anything gross for the old perv. All the Elder Hermit wants is a good sparring match with his student's student, as well for Goku to tell his grandpa he says hi. The Dragon Ball doesn't matter too much to him after all. Here though, Master Roshi would demonstrate the Kamehameha, and Goku would replicate it, here being able to make one bigger than Roshi's, because of Kurama's power. Impressed, Roshi would hand them the orb and ask Goku to train with him in the future, to which the Monkey Boy would agree, and leave. Now, knowing the Turtle Devastation Wave himself, Goku would put out the fire on Fry Pan Mountain without the help of Master Roshi. Impressed and grateful to the student of his old friend, Ox King would give Goku the Dragon Ball. Getting all the other orbs goes about the same, up until the peel-off bit, where the duo are knocked out and the balls are taken. Or at least, they were in the original. Here, Kurama would take control of Goku's body when he's knocked out from the gas peel-off used. It wouldn't be hard for Kurama to beat down the peel-off gang and tie them up, then taking a nap until Goku and Bulma wake up. When they do, Bulma would grab the final Dragon Ball, and the two would leave to Mount Paozu. When arriving, they would summon Shinron, while Gohan watches. Bulma makes her wish for a lifetime supply of strawberries. She would have wished for the perfect boyfriend, but Goku already seems like he might be able to fit that role well enough. As Shinron's eyes glow red, a pink basket falls in front of Bulma, with a strawberry checkered blanket inside. Anytime she wants strawberries, the basket will fill with the tastiest berries she had ever had, and they would never spoil. And that is where we're going to be leaving things for today. I hope you all enjoyed watching this, as I certainly enjoyed making it. This is, always has been, and always will be the Irishman. Talk to you later. Bye.